Hi guys, I'm back. I got an order in last night, and this person requested for me to make 4 caramel apples, 1 chamoy, and a red candy apple. I already have the red one, so I'm not gonna have to do that one. But I did want to try to do a Jolly Ranch raspberry apple. So I'm going to try to do that tonight. And I, I am more prepared today. And obviously I have my makeup on because I was out somewhere earlier. And the last video I was tired. We just came back from Oregon on a road trip. And I had a long weekend. So that's why I was looking the way I did the first time. Anyways, I'm not sure if you can see behind me, the table is fully prepared. I have my parchment paper. I did the bows as requested by the customer. They wanted purple. And I actually have my Jolly Ranchers already unwrapped. And I'm sure you know what Jolly Ranchers are. They're these little wrap candies, and you can buy them in a bag like this, and they come in a few flavors here, and you can separate the flavors, or if you want, you can mix them up. It's up to you. I had already cleaned the apples, dried them, and already inserted the sticks. I even came across a couple little apples that I had in my fruit bowl, and I wanted to see what it was like to work with small apples. So with my mixture, I'm going to be working, I'm not going to make the caramel fresh like I did the last time. I kind of missed a step and it didn't come out right. So I can only think that I did not cook it the right temperature. So to be safe, I bought this bag. And you could see that it's not candies that you have to individually unwrap. That would take a long time. So this looks like it could be easy. So I'm going to go ahead and start to melt these. And I'm going to put them in the bigger pot, since my recipe calls for more caramel apples than it does the other one. The other one I don't even have to make any kind of cooking candy mixture. They want a chamoy apple, so that is just nothing but taking apart these little things here. They're tamarind. It's kind of like it's like a taffy kind of. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like this. And I think you're going to need about 5 pieces to cover a pretty good sized apple. So you can buy these at the Mexican market, and they sell them in spicy, like super hot. They sell them in watermelon. I think they sell them in mango. But yeah, or they even have the plain one in the fruit section, or you can find all the chili powders. You can find the plain tamarind, and you can add your own flavors that you like. What I want to try as well is working with a fruit roll-up. And I'm sure you guys know what a fruit roll-up is. And I found this one, and I unwrapped it, so I'm going to try to see what this one will do. So for now, I'm going to stop the video and get to melting the caramel, and when it gets soft, I'll come back and I'll show you how I'm dipping the apples. Okay guys, I'm back. I melted the caramel and it is good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start covering the caramels apples. So let's see. So far, it's coming out pretty good. The last batch that I made, the first one, it was coming out really weird. It had like chunks of, I don't know if it could have been butter or the sugar. Not sure what happened, but this one came out pretty good. I'll let you see how it looks. You want to make sure that you wait for all of the excess candy to fall off. And once you've got pretty much most of it off, then you drop it and do the next one before your caramel starts to get too hard to work with. I wish I could put the camera to where you guys could see how I'm turning and twisting the apple into the sauce, but my pot is pretty heavy, so I can't maneuver both. And it's pretty late at night, so I don't have anyone here to help me to manhandle the camera. But as you can see, it looks pretty good. I want to make sure that I have enough to coat at least 5 apples, because I promised my husband that I'd make him one too. And these are pretty good sized apples. A little surprised at how much I spent. I can't believe that 6 apples would cost me $14. A little ridiculous. So what I did new was I had some ribbon that was metallic. So what I did was I just wrapped around the stick. When you put the bling on the stick, you have to work with the glue gun, and a lot of times you're burning your fingers, so I wanted to make a few of them with the sticks that I used the ribbon. So they don't look bad, actually. They look nice, and they're still good, nice and sturdy to hold the apple down. So my customer requested that they wanted a couple of plain apples, and then the rest coated with nuts. So I could tell that the caramel is starting to thicken up, so it's gonna give you a hard time trying to coat the apple evenly. So from here, as you can see, it's got a few drips, and you see that it doesn't want to come off, shake off anymore. So I'm gonna try my best, and make sure that you put these sticks into the apple good, because if they're not on there secured, your apple can fall right into the mixture, and that's not good. So I already made my peanut mixture. I already smashed them down, and now I'm just gonna coat them. And you gotta work fast, because after a while the peanuts don't stick, because the caramel starts to get hard. So if you kind of powder them, smash your peanuts to like a powder form, you may be able to work better with it. So I'm not going to cover the whole apple, but this is pretty good, I think. So that came out nice. Now I had to turn on the fire to get the caramel to soften up, because it started to harden up. It's not letting me coat the entire apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this, finish the rest of the apples, and I'll be right back. Hi guys, I'm back. So I finished the caramel apples. I don't know if you could see them from there, but they came out nice. Since I had some white candy melts, they are the Candy Caramello. You could buy these anywhere, Walmart, Michael's, and you could buy them in different colors. I usually buy white because I can always dye them, use food coloring. So what I did was I melted it in a bowl, and then I stuck it in a little bag like this because I'm going to try to accomplish decorating them with the white caramel. So I don't want to waste a lot of the recording, so I'm gonna pause again and decorate them, and then come back to you. And my next apple will be doing the tamarind. So this will be the chamoy apple. So this will be my first time trying to do this. So you'll be first to see it. I'll be back. All right, guys. Sorry I had to pause for a good while because the caramel apples took some time. I ended up decorating them fancy, but I'm gonna show you at the end what I did with those apples. Right now I am working on the chamoy apple, and it is harder than I thought. These little packets, earlier I said that maybe about 5 to 6 you can use them on one. It used up 10 for that size of apple. So what I had to do was put all those 10 pieces into the microwave so they can soften up a little. And you want to put them in there for maybe 20 seconds. If you put them in there too long, it might crust up like this part. So you don't want that. It's still good, but you don't want that. You want it to kind of look like this. So that kind of looks like a Frankenstein apple, but once you wet it with the chamoy, which is this sauce right here, it's really cheap. It was like $1.50 at the Mexican store. Just pour it in your bowl and use it to kind of work with the this taffy like tamarind, and then you're gonna get your hands dirty. Maybe you want to wear gloves, so you want to press it down and form the apple shape. So this is what it's gonna look like. The last step to this apple is pouring the powder mixture on it, and it's like the tahini. I don't know if you know what tahini is. I'll show you. It's this. If you don't like your apple sweet, you can probably buy this tahini, and it's like the chamoy, but it's spicier. It's not as sweet, and if you notice, there's like those little yellow like flames. That indicates how hot it is. So I tried it. It's not that hot. Anyways, so at this point, now that you have your apple this way, you guys can see, you want to sprinkle the powder fixture. I actually like the tahini better. It doesn't have like the lemon taste. Oh, and by the way, I added some lemon to that chamoy mixture. I only squeezed a little bit just to get it to have that soury taste. So this is what you're gonna do. You're going to take your apple, and the stick, like I said, wear gloves. You'll get the stick dirty, and if you decorated the stick, you don't want to ruin the look of the stick. So you're going to just coat your wet chamoy apple with the tahini chili powder. And you can also press it again, but maybe wear gloves because it might be real messy. So I did also clean because I'm that kind that like to clean as you go. So that's why it took me a while to come back. So this is the effect that you want to get. I'm going to bring it over here because it kind of swept the floor already. So it looks like this. This is a big apple. These apples cost $14. I can't believe it. But yeah, this is what you want to accomplish. I'm going to pack it down and I'm going to sprinkle it again. That way when you put it in the refrigerator, it gets chilled. When you cut it, it's not going to fall apart. So I'm going to pack it down, but I'm going to put something on my hands to do that. And then I'm going to coat it one more time with the tahini. So again, with that mixture, you want to use the tamarind, okay? And these are cheap. A little box like this, right here, it's like $2.30. And like I said, they come in different flavors. And then buy the chamoy. You're gonna use this to put on your veggies and fruits. It's pretty good. And some people might like it really spicy, so maybe you'll need to use this, and you'll need this to coat the apple. I bought this one. I haven't tried it, but I like tahini, so I bought various flavors. So again, don't forget to add a little bit of lemon juice. So that is all for the apples that this customer requested. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with that apple, and then I'll come back and show you the finish work, okay? All right, guys, I had another apple, so I'm gonna make this one for me since I had an extra apple. And so what I did was I squeezed a little bit of lemon with the chamoy sauce, and I coated it around the apple. I didn't do that the first time, so dummy me. And that's probably what made it hard to put the tamarind paste-like stuff on the apple. It kept falling off. So I believe this is going to be the easier way. So my hands are getting really dirty, so I barely have a finger clean to touch the phone and put it on pause. So I'll come back to you once I finish putting the tamarind on it, okay? Okay, so what I did was I put the tamarind paste on it, and then I squeezed more lemon, and it made it a little more easier to work with. And after I was able to spread it all throughout the apple, you got to kind of really work your fingers, like pressing it and pinching it together so the whole entire apple is covered. And then once it's like wet, all Frankenstein looking, that's when you go in and put the powder, the chili powder on it. So I used this one first. It's not as lemon flavor like the tahini, so I use this first, and then after I pat it down, I use the tahini after that. And if you want to make sure you're doing it right, it's kind of like when you're making a sandcastle. So it should be like sand trying to form a ball. So this is what it looks like. And when you're done, you shouldn't have any spots. Like you shouldn't be able to see the apple at all. So it's gonna have quite a good thick coat of this chamoy apple. So put it in the refrigerator, let it chill. That way when you go to cut it, you want to use a very sharp knife to cut it open. And leave it in overnight so that it can chill and it'll cut just right. Okay, I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm going to finish everything up with the wrappers and the bows, and I'll come back to let you see what it looks like. All right, guys, this was a a really late project. As you can see, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I've been cleaning and just making sure everything is done right. So I had these little apples that I wanted to try. And this is my last thing. It's nothing with the customer ordered, so it's just from my experience. And I wanted to try the Jolly Ranch candy. So I did the same thing like I did the cinnamon apple. So this one, I added the Jolly Ranchers instead. And I did the smaller, a quarter of the normal recipe. So it smelled like it was burning, but hopefully it didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and dip the apples. See how it came out? I used a mixture of blue and purple, so it should have this really beautiful dark blueberry sort of look. There, let you take a look. Almost looks black, but I could see it is blueberry. Cause I don't want to get burned, I'm gonna put this to the side, and then I'll come back when I have it all set up. Okay. All right, guys. It is almost 2 now. I'm too tired to bag them and put the ribbon on them, but I finished, and this is what it looks like. They wanted 2 plain caramel, so this is one of the plain ones. This is the second plain one. And then they wanted 2 caramel with nuts. So, I don't know if you could see, there's 1, and there's 2. And then there is the chamoy apple that they wanted. And then, of course, you probably saw this one the other day, yesterday. This is the red apple. That is what they requested. So, I had an extra one for me. So, I will be using that. And over here, I did that Jolly Rancher effect, and I don't know what it tastes like, but they're pretty dark. They're very blueberry looking. So that's how the little apple came out. And here's the second one. And then I dipped the strawberries, obviously. You could see they're really, really, really hard. But it's too late for me to try one, so I'll try it tomorrow. Anyways, I'm going to wrap them tomorrow, and I'll show you what they come out looking like, okay? Have a good night. Thank you for watching.